Talking about that, good morning to you.
You dumped someone?
No. Elizabeth Jandu, I hope that you're enjoying the show. You give me outfits. I hope that this Friday you're giving me one. Tomorrow, I'm putting you on the spot.
All right, so we've got messages here to share with you. Here's one that says, I want to require from the Ministry of Education when the ban on transfer would be lifted. This is the time for transfers, and I want to take transfer to Upper West. A 24-year-old female, a 24-year-old, hey, this is quite long, eh? Okay, this is a long one that we have to read later. And share possibly. This one says, we always feel God never comes on time when we call him, but the truth is he's always on time. It is us who are always in a hurry. Good morning. Well, good morning to you. Kindly include your name when you send us those beautiful messages that you do. This one says, which SSSA did you attend? You're asking me. Camelos Ella from Ho. I went to Zico. I went to Zion College in Anglonga. This one says, oh, where are you? Okay, this one
like
says
the way she speaks English.
The beauty of a day is not because something favorable happened to you, but the beauty of it is when you wake up and know that there is life in you. So don't focus on your challenges, disappointments, and what you lack in life, but give thanks to God for the gift of life. That's Bambaki Asamed and Fombese. This sounds like one of those motivations that we could use tomorrow, Friday, for instance. Maybe it's about time we ask you to send us your motivational messages so we can open the show with it every morning. Roland would love that very much. Mrs. Jifambaji says they should not be playing with the intelligence of Ghanaians. They should fix the problem with this NHIS. Okay. Hey. Complaining from inside Hikpo in the Volta region. Not my wife, Mrs. Jifambaji. Okay. I'm a bit confused. Is it from you or it's from your wife? But I get the message. So thanks a lot. Maybe two more messages and we will be digging into the papers next. This one says, this is coming from the Kwewu Government Hospital records staff. The government's initiative of employing people with disability is superb, and we say kudos. Greetings to management and staff, especially medical superintendents, administrator, accountant, matron, and all staff. I guess it's to the Kwewu Government Hospital, and it's from the record staff to the entire facility. Good morning to all of you. This one says, hi, good morning. Can you find out where we can get the published lists of this year's programs who have so far paid? All right, maybe that's one of the questions that we can put to any of the members of the, is it Hash Committee? Roland, we know that, our very good friend, the Nasara coordinator, he's part of the board. Kamaldeen Abdullah.
Yes, he's a member of the Hajj board.
Okay, cool. So we could ask him. Now let's turn our attention to the papers now.
Yes, do the daily graphic.
As always, front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Child beggars invade Accra. And on the front page of the paper, which you would see on your screens in the bit, some of the child beggars captured at different locations in the city. And this picture captured by Douglas Anani Frimpong and Emmanuel Asamoah Adai. And this is a question that I don't know how many parents have been asked this. Roland, have your children ever asked when those kids come around to beg? Have they ever asked, Daddy, what are they asking for? Or what do they want? Why are they begging?
Rather, they asked me that I should give them.
Oh, okay.
So I remember, I think, was it the last weekend or this weekend? My son, the early one, the first one, Sean, said, Daddy, why didn't you... I think there was a child who came. Yeah. And usually I would give. And this time I didn't give. Okay. My mind too was on so many things. Yeah. By the time I realized I hadn't given the child anything, so Daddy, you should give. God says you should give. Okay. So I didn't, but they've never asked why, but they just said, oh, these people don't have enough. Oh. Because, you know, at Sunday school, they always thought that there are some people in the world who always don't have enough. And then you have to extend your help or arms to them to make them survive. Okay. Yes.
You know, I can be hard sometimes. So my mind told me that just because the kids are in the vehicle, I shouldn't even give, because it's more like you're encouraging these are little kids. Their parents are sitting there and they're asking their children to go and beg. So I just told them that it's wrong for these children to be doing what they're doing.
Okay, but
so that's the other side of it. Okay,
for me, the reason why I give them is that if they had enough, they wouldn't be on the streets.
Wait till you hear some of the interesting stories of some of them who have homes and things like that.
I'll bring my experience. You know, I grew up in Ashaiman. And one day I was going to take Trotro and come to Accra in the early days of my practice.
Yeah.
I was working with GBC at the time. And there was this man, apparently he had cataract. He was not really blind. So you could see that it's foggy or there's that whitish stuff on the lens. And I always give him money. And one day he was asking money when somebody came tagging at him. And apparently that person was his driver, a driver of his commercial vehicle.
Oh!
And so they had a banter. And apparently from the banter I got to know he has 2 Mercedes-Benz 207s.
From your collection.
And I said, well, so then I stopped giving to adults. I mean, really, I don't give to adults.
Okay. I hate the fact that there are some grown-ups sitting somewhere and asking the innocent children to go and beg. So that's all they know now. Yes. That's what they've been trained to do.
There are some who do that as their trade.
Yeah.
And when I was living back in Ashaiman, I used to have people board the car with me and come to Nima or Mamobi
to come and beg. Yes. And then they would go back.
And there are some too who bought from the cars from here and go vice versa out to Medina. I lived in Medina too.
Wow. Well, so it'll be interesting to read the angle that the Daily Graphic is bringing to this whole conversation. It started a conversation, at least in the studio. That story is on page 3. And the picture on the front page is one that it says it all. FPSO J.A. Kufuor to be commissioned today. Avoid conflict with MPs. President warns MMDCEs. So we see the president in some sort of a chat with the Minister of Local Government Rural Development, Hajia Alima Mahama. Ghana misses a digital migration deadline again. We're not ready. We're not ready. We're not ready. It looks like we've been pretending that we can't be ready, but we're not ready. I think that the rest of the world should go ahead of us. Maybe we should just concentrate on this satellite that's going to be released, one that's produced by engineers, student engineers from the All Nations University, and forget about this. I'm just saying. All right, so page 43 of the paper says Ghana cannot meet the September 21, 2017 deadline set for the migration from analog to digital broadcasting. The Minister of Communications, Mrs. Esla Owusu-Ekofo, has said the country missed the initial June 25th deadline set under the Geneva 2016 agreement of the International Telecommunications Union for countries to migrate onto the digital platform, citing delays in accessing funding for the project. Details of why we cannot meet that September deadline is in the paper. I'll leave you to read. Government committed to improving port efficiency. Minister of Transport attributed to this headline, which is also in the paper, in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Back page of the paper, though. Residents of Yao at Dipa get potable water, and GOIL presents beds to hospitals. All right, how many beds then? The Ghana Oil Company Limited has donated 100 hospital beds for distribution to various health facilities in the Western region. The donation, part of the company's corporate social investment, is aimed at providing 100 beds for each region to help improve quality healthcare service nationwide. They've made similar donations to 5 regions, Roland. Ashanti, Central, Northern, Upper East, and Upper West. That's good initiative.
Good of them.
Thank you, Goyle.
Oh, we say thank you, Goyle.
Another thing that the little kids like to ask, which one is your favorite fuel station?
I love Total.
They ask that a lot.
Total, and one around me called Top Oil.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know. I kind of get so confused when they ask such questions. I just mention all of them.
Once in a while, I go to Shell, but I love Total.
Yeah.
But I think ideally, I think the one that has the best price is always Goyle, I think.
Well, it looks like right now, they all kind of have the same prices.
I know.
Yeah.
But
I visited 3 though.
2 days ago, I bought from Shell. So.
Okay.
yeah, but that one was convenience.
I just like the traditional fuel outlets.
Yeah.
I stick to the traditional ones.
The recent thing about, the Billy.
So thing. I stick to the traditional.
So now I'm going traditional. But other than that, I was buying from a cheaper source around my place. No, I'm not going to mention, but cheaper source around my lane.
But listen, you never know. Maybe because
most of the time I have to go through a shaman before climbing the motorway. So.
Maybe because we also don't know the kind of standards. But we know, for instance, that these bigger traditional ones, they have a lot to lose. So they kind of follow strict
I know.
standards and things.
They have their own ways of.
That's why I stick to them. Yes. That's why I stick to them. Okay, that's it for the Daily Graphic.
Just branding, Charlie. Branding, I couldn't trim. We have Daily Guide. It has on the front page, Yoko chases Iwuada Akonfo. Iwuada Akonfo was former boss for both Tor and Bost. And then we have NDC cries over 15 billion Ghana cedi Chinese deal. And apparently, we're also told that DC election coming, and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is the president, had been assuring the nation when he interacted with the newly appointed MMDCEs who were having their orientation at the Institute of Local Government Studies at Medina here in Accra, outskirts of Medina here in Accra. And of course, Mama View also will be going there. We went there on Monday.
We did. I think we opened it with them because we started the conversation from Friday.
I mean, we were pioneers. And so the president has reiterated his commitment to pushing for the election of MMDCs. It was one of the key manifesto promises the MPP made during the 2016 electioneering campaign. I would want to see who becomes the MMDC of Tema West, or Tema Metropolitan Assembly, and then also Ashaiman. Those are the key areas where I have great interest.
Hey, Roland.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to do something in Ashaiman, otherwise. I don't know, because you talk about Ashaiman like every day. And when you saw your MC when you went to their induction program, you should have seen yourself.
I said, what's he gonna do? I was asking questions around it. What's he gonna do with this and all that? Yeah. So we have other stories. White Stone Food suspects foul play. And then we also have fetish priest warned parish galamseyers apparently. Talk about what is superstitious and what is not. So I'm going to look for that story. That's what I'm interested in. And apparently we're told that it's been revealed that a fetish priest in the Nsuta Kwaman area, or the Nsuta area of the Western region, forewarned illegal miners in the community not to operate in the pit that caved in last Monday and killed about 17 of them. According to some of the residents, 22 galamsey operators did not heed the advice from the fetish priest and decided to enter the old pit to prosper for gold when the tragedy occurred. But sad incident, but this one also coming in. Okay,
so I listened to a report that was filed by a journalist in the Western region for the BBC yesterday. And there's something very interesting that he revealed, that, Charlie, we are crying more than those who are bereaved, because they are not even bothered. They are waiting for us to stop talking so that they can go back into the pits. Because they say this is normal. And they expect things like these to happen. Exactly. So it's part of the trade.
Right.
Yeah, I was shocked, actually. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, you're through?
Yes.
All right, let's continue with the Ghanaian Times newspaper now. Front page of the Times, dual citizenship law to change to allow dual citizens to hold public office. That story is definitely one of interest. A bit more of that. President turns on FPSO John Kufuor for oil production. Offshore Cape 3 points today. 5 bodies retrieved from collapsed Galamsey pits, but it comes with a question mark. So it means that they're not quite sure. Minority cautions government against $2.5 billion energy bond. That's also another story, another headline on the front page. But the story on page 16 about dual citizenship. Story says government has expressed its readiness to provide the necessary resources to the Electoral Commission to enable it implement the Representation of the People's Amendment Law in future elections. The law, which seeks to provide the opportunity for Ghanaians living abroad to participate in general elections, was passed by Parliament 12 years ago. It gives a background to that. But I thought I was going to talk about the dual citizenship thing. Looks like you have to read into detail to get this angle of the story, but at least you know what the headline says, so you can get your head into the paper later on and read that story. Back page of the Times, though, full television digital migration projects postponed. That same story in the Daily Graphic. Ghanaian farmers underutilizing fertilizers. Also a revelation here on the back page of the paper. But maybe a bit of this story on page 15, because I met this FPSO that's going to be turned on today twice already. Story says President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will today inaugurates the third floating production storage and offshore vessel to commence the commercial production of oil in the offshore Cape 3 Points off fields in the Western region, and the detailed report is in the paper. Also, the minority in Parliament is claiming that the energy sector levy, which was expected to amortize that sector's debt between 3 and 5 years, would now be repaid in 15 years if the government goes ahead to issue its planned energy sector bond. The rest of the story is right there. Also, this is interesting. NGO to launch One District, One Library projects, where we're really going with this One District, One something. One District, One something. One household, one toilet. What happened to that, by the way? Roland, you've got what? Finder?
Yeah, I've got the Finder newspaper.
They're going business today. Yeah, it's a business day.
So Business Finder has on the front page, economy expands by some 8 billion Ghana cedis in first quarter of the year. And the Ghana cedi loses 3.64% of value in first half 2017. Yo. And then we have other stories there. But let's look at the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The Daily Dispatch newspaper says that 20 fake tertiary institutions to be closed down. That's according to the Deputy Minister of Education, Professor Kwesi Yankah. How the 70 miners died. The story is on page 11 of the paper. I want us to take a look at it because it's quite something moving. It's about a couple of them who were telling their tale, having escaped. Apparently, they have various entry points in the pits. And so they escaped through various entry points. They said, we managed to pass through the other exits, about 50 of us. But there's one that says that Mr. Musa said that when they got to the pit again, they found out that the blast had covered those at the middle portion. So we held one person. We tried to pull the dead body, but found out that he was locked in the cage. If we pulled him, the soil would crack further and kill us. So we passed through another pit and began digging from the top of the waist, searching for any survivor. So that was a strategy we adopted. Charlie, get a copy of the Daily Dispatch newspaper.
Dispatch.
And then we do the BNFT, the Business and Financial Times. It has on the front page, government risks losing some $57 million shares in Lango Gold Ashanti as Balkan Energy sees court order to sell shares. And those are the stories we have on the front page, alongside sanction service providers for port delays. And that's Dr. Kofi Mbia, former chief executive for the Ghana Shippers Authority. Porting?
Yeah, are people still porting?
No.
I think because I think some people said, oh,
Ghana
Charlie,
port.
when you, oh, this is Ghana
yeah,
port.
not telecommunication.
Telecommunication porting. But people said, Charlie,
and we're told that
it's the same everywhere.
Yeah, Sankofa Jinjami oil flows today, and the president is set to officially open tap, even though they've been operating since it came in. All right. So those are the stories we have.
Let's read some of your messages before we turn our attention online. Yesterday, I was talking about the Uganda dress code. Well, we'll bring you the story this morning. This one says, good morning. My name is Rashid from Upper West Region. I want to cry for the support of YEA, especially those under fire service, that the government of Ghana should please come and help them out. The government should try and help them out. That's your call. This other one says, good morning, right back at you. In fact, you guys are too much. Shadrach Osafo of Kwewu Government Hospital, it's CBA Records Department. I think you sent the earlier message. So thanks for sending that. This other one says, good morning, Ronan. I really like your show. Yale Fire Service. Oh, I think this is an earlier one that I'm reading. Okay, yeah. Yale Fire Service beneficiary. On behalf of my colleagues and I, we want you to come to our aid and speak on our behalf so we can be maintained in the main service. We have acquired more skills and even respond to emergency and also holding branch. I'd be glad if my request is considered. Kwashi in Takrade, bringing that plea to our attention. Here's another one that says, my name is Mavis from Kumasi. Can you get Honorable Amase on your show? Because we miss her. You guys are looking great this morning. Charlie, you want to bring me trouble, eh? Oh, but definitely I have to have another conversation with Amase, the Member of Parliament for Akwatia. Gamancha from Tatale Sangoli says, Roland, even here at Yendi, a man has actually built a house, bought houses, working for him, but he's still begging, and he will force you to give him money. Yeah, there are many stories. And sometimes it's sad because there are genuine people who don't have, who need, you know, those monies. But because of one experience or the other, when you feel somebody's deceiving you, you kind of just block your mind and say, okay, I'll give everybody.
There's a man I saw begging in front of a psychiatric hospital. He's always in, what are they, clutches?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the last week, one of the days within the last week, when I saw him walking, he was holding the clutches and walking. Of course, he was limping, but
it wasn't as bad as.
I'm not sure he was disabled.
Okay.
He was holding the clutches.
Let's do the online review now. Let's do online. Let's start home. myjoyonline.com. That's the first place that we're going to start reviewing the stories. Roland, myjoyonline.com.
Okay, so we do myjoyonline.com, and first story we're looking at. Hundreds of homes flood after Wager Dam spillage. Residents refuse to relocate. Okay? And so we have hundreds of homes in the catchment area of the Wager Dam submerged. Finance Minister dragged to Parliament over 419 VAT rate. And then we have married therapists dissect Jay-Z's lyrics about cheating on Beyonce. All this thing is entertainment tricks. Don't believe in anything. $2.25 billion bond controversy. Minority steps up pressure. Minority women watch us. It's 4 years old. Okay, so we have government pledges support for responsible mining companies, and then we also have next story. Climate change may turn Africa's arid Sahel green. Researchers, and when is that going to happen? Sahel, 2.25 billion bond site. Minority Apparent has filed second external petition in Luxembourg. I love this Luxembourg. They said they found that the parents company, blah blah blah, and District Chief Executive begged Nana Danko Akufo-Addo for cars. So we're going to spend money and buy them.
They also say they inherited a lot of debts. Well, we've got other very interesting stories on our page, myjoyonline.com. You can visit the page.
As an assembly, they always have to inherit it.
Anytime. All right, let's do City FM Online. And we have a stranger in the house today. We're going to reveal him later on. Investigates bust scandal again, Imani tells Nana Addo. Government scheming to leverage energy levy for $2.4 billion bond. That's according to the minority. Also on the page, Chinese loan needs parliamentary approval. That's the minority saying that. Don't fight with MPs, Akufo-Addo advises MMDC.
That's one. I was interacting with them and telling them that I know that bomb is they'll be rivaling the MPs.
Yeah, but the president knows. I like the fact that he kind of, it looks like he knows everything that's likely to happen or possibly could happen.
He's been through the mill as an MP,
yeah,
so
he knows.
3-term MP.
Yeah, of course there are some DCEs who would want to be MPs, so definitely. All right, the BBC? Okay, no. Roland, let me bring you the story. Uganda's strict dress code for civil servants and their Ministry of Public Service has a new circular asking civil servants to adopt a decent dress code. Now, civil servants are now to wear decent clothing to work that includes dresses below the knees, covering cleavage, and a suit and tie for the man. Here's a story that we picked from a station in Uganda. Watch this.
When you walk into the Public Service Ministry in Wandegea, it is impossible to miss this notice that's titled Notice Number 1 of 2017. It was issued by the Permanent Secretary, Catherine Bitarakwate, to all civil servants as a reminder of what the ministry says is a dress code that does not portray a good image and falls below acceptable standards of the community.
Generally, in Uganda, and we are talking about generally, that means the majority, do not believe in people exposing their body parts which should otherwise be covered. So, and people in Uganda have a perception of what a public officer should look like, and this is the image we are trying to protect and preserve.
Asked why the ministry was seeking to police the dress code of public servants, this was the response.
We are not saying below the knee. We are saying not above the knee. And for one reason, above the knee, you know what it means? It can also tantamount to sexual harassment. Okay? Above the knee. Because when you sit, you're exposing your thighs, which is not generally accepted. And it can distract others from work.
There was already an existing guideline on dress code in the Public Service Standing Orders of 2010. However, it merely stated that a female public officer's dress must be neat, respectable, and practical for the work that she does. For males, it said a public officer should wear neat, long trousers, shirt, jacket, and necktie. The latest policy guideline could be interpreted as a move by government to police dressing with the Fast Through Anti-Pornography Act, whose sections that sought to bar women from showing their thighs were removed. The ministry, however, says they are open to hearing from civil servants on the new circular.
In the rising global trend of multiculturalism that spreads across even to dress codes, it's hardly imaginable that the biggest complaint the public service would issue a circular for is a dress code. But now they say that due to public concern, they've been forced to issue a dress code for the public officers of Uganda. Raymond Mujini, NTV.
And
Very
Raymond should come and say, Mama V is well dressed. I think not above the, not below the knee.
Okay, but we've got an example on the
equilibrium.
BBC. So we're flipping through the BBC page now. This is a replica. This is what the Ministry of Public Service wants. This is the standard, what you see on your screen now. I can't see the BBC. That. Oh, no, this is not from the BBC. This is from the independence.co.ug. Okay, just
Ugandan
exactly.
News.
But there's a certain reaction as well. Please kindly just go up for us. Okay, so the union, the workers, the National Organization of Trade Unions, they've criticized the move by the Ministry of Public Service, and they say this was a rushed decision. Yeah, so there you have it. There's a full reaction.
Uncle, you're wearing Museveni.
But listen, those who know him very well, you remember there was this picture of him seated and his legs, with his legs crossed by the side of the road on a bench. You remember that picture very well?
On a affordable seat.
It was a foldable. Okay. It was because he was doing something else. So people say that this one, those who really know him, it means he's going to take some wild decision. I hear that they want to either scrap or extend the tenure of the president. And this is just, by the time you know, they've done that one. And this is the talking points. Very interesting.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, our little money moment, and then we have to run off. But Ade Babantade in Apam sends us a very interesting message. Ade says, Mama V and Roland, this is your money box thing, cry. I tried saving something, but I keep opening and counting almost every day.
I see.
Please, I need your prayers to keep me going. Okay. Regards to Felicity and Seyi Babantade. That's Ade in Apam.
Hey, my friend.
It's been tough for us. I mean, we haven't done this for a couple of days, but today we're contributing to a box. But as for opening, I'm not sure I'm tempted to open the box.
I'm not.
Maybe if you were taking care of it, you probably would have.
Oh, no. I think because it belongs to the two of us.
But I think the trick is don't get a box that you can easily open. Don't get those boxes.
And actually, you just need to be disciplined too.
Yeah.
Because of this, I took a money box or a piggy bank for my two kids, and they also save as and when. Yeah, they are paying for an item I bought for them. Half of it. I mean, that's the agenda.
Yeah.
But of course, I know that at the end of the day, they will tell me, They want to go to a pizza joint or something, go and buy it.
But I think the whole idea is just so you don't give up, just so you don't open this. That's the reason we're doing it with you. So if it's not working, I don't know how else. But just get a box that's just like ours. You can't easily open it unless you destroy the whole thing. Get one of those boxes. I think that should help. This morning, we'll bring back one of our colleagues who turned burger in the US.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Burger Benedict is back. Akwesi Burger.
Yeah, whoa. It was with the Black Stars and all that.
Yeah, and then he had a conversation with Stonebwoy as well.
In the US?
Yes, in the US. So Charlie, the guy's been chilling.
He's been on honeymoon.
No, he went for the BET. Okay. You know, he was nominated for the International Act. I don't know. Ask Benedict. He interacted with the guy. Yeah. So Benedict is back. Has his tone changed? Is he slanging now?
Oh, Charlie.
I
only
don't know.
3 days.
Charlie, people go for what? 1 week again. Yeah. Are you okay?
That's UK.
That's UK, yeah.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Everything all right?
We'll see how that goes.
Everything all right?
But we'll bring you a lot more sports, and it's up next.
Yeah.